the part before. You are welcome. You are welcome. Everybody knows that I have a special power where if I throw myself wholeheartedly at a prediction, if I just put everything I've got into it, the opposite will happen. I knew this. And I used it to bring Nintendo Directs back from the dead. And I think, sorry, my voice is, I just woke up. My voice is not woken up all the way yet. Just heard the news. The thing is, like, I think I said this somewhere. I can't remember where. Was it Twitter or a different video or something? How, like, I started to get worried because, like, the mistake, the classic analyst mistake is see what a company has been doing and assume they'll keep doing it. You know, the ball is rolling down the hill. I predict it will keep rolling down the hill and nothing will interfere with it. And that's what I did. Oh, they did it this way last year, so I assume they'll do it again this year. But I thought that in itself was a bold prediction because there's no reason Directs shouldn't come back. I just thought they liked the previous way, and you gotta be bold with your predictions. You gotta be, because Nintendo doesn't do what you expect. And doing Directs again after the pandemic is kind of wrapping up, that would have made sense. So I thought I was doing it doesn't matter. I didn't do it on purpose. If I had done it on purpose, it wouldn't have worked. If I had said there were no Directs were ever coming back for the purposes of making Directs come back, it wouldn't have worked, because that's not how Nintendo works. They're always one step ahead of you. So no, I really thought they might have been done, but I started to get nervous. It was really like January. I'm like, I don't know. I really I'm starting to feel like they might announce a Direct or something, but you gotta stick with it. You gotta stick to your guns. You have to. You absolutely have to with a prediction. You gotta be bold. But then February rolled around, and then I was thinking about that big February Direct in was it 2019? And how, like, the whole second half of the year, we don't really know what's coming. And I was like, man, I think a Direct would go really well right here. But I couldn't do it. I had to stick with it. Anyway, but here you go. Here you go. I was wrong. And you know what? I wanted to be wrong. I'm so glad I was wrong. Because of course I'm glad I was wrong. I think the concept of lone, individual, random announcements was a good one. It worked for Nintendo. It generated a tremendous amount of buzz and hype for every single individual announcement. They each had all of this room to breathe. There'd be a big media thing for each one. So I thought that made sense. I didn't want it to be that way. I recognized that seemed to be the best for Nintendo. And no, apparently it wasn't. Apparently there is someone at Nintendo, or that they still want Directs. Apparently that is still the mindset at Nintendo, or at least with whoever person, Furukawa, whoever is in charge of that decision. Apparently there is still value in a bigger Direct with lots of announcements in it. And I still kind of find that weird. It is a little bit weird. I don't know. Maybe they, hey, for all I know, they ran the numbers and they think that the hype that surrounds a Direct, maybe they get more viewers than each of the individual announcements. That's been like the prevailing theory. Probably like the one case for big Directs is, well, at the very least, you get everyone watching. Whereas, these individual trailers, you're just going to get interested people watching. So at the very least, everyone comes together to watch a Direct. Everybody at the same time. And for all we know, like, I wasn't sure if that would be enough to do it. If that would be enough to sway them back in that direction. But maybe it was. Maybe just the raw numbers of it. Maybe that was all it took. I don't really know. Now, here's the thing, though. Here is the thing. Just because, again, you can't look at one thing and predict the future using that thing, 2020, I took what they did there and predicted the future with it. Just because we have a Direct right now, can we assume that Directs are back? That's a big one. That's a whole discussion on its own. Can we assume that the switch has been switched again? It's been turned back on, and now Directs are a thing again. They just went, 2020, weird year, but now 2020's over. It's 2021 now. Let's do Directs again. Or is this something that they are still feeling out. They very easily could just be, I don't know, experimenting again. For all we know, we get this direct and we don't get another direct for the whole rest of the year. Or we only get one in December. Maybe they skip June again. Who knows? And despite my love of predicting, especially predicting wrong, I really don't know. I'm not ready to throw myself at a prediction here because this is so weird. It's, it's kind of like when they switched from directs to the individual announcements. That was such a weird thing. Like when they announced Origami King, it was like, is this the new normal? You know what I mean? Is this just like a random thing? We don't really know. So now that they've gone back, okay, is this the new normal? That's Nintendo. They always keep you on your toes. You don't know what's normal. You don't know what is normal at all. It would be pretty funny if, they give us one direct. Directs are back. Oh my gosh, they're back. And then just no more for the rest of the year. They just don't. They just do individual announcements or nothing or something. Because you never know. You never know with Nintendo. You don't know what they're going to do based on what they did. Patterns? Well, what is that? Who knows? Well, I don't usually do individual prediction like videos for like directs and stuff. I will for like E3 when E3s were consistent. I do that. I don't usually just for directs, but I really just wanted to talk about how I was wrong and how it's awesome that I was wrong because I love E3s or E3s. I love directs. But I mean, we are here. You are already listening. I might as well also just kind of touch a little bit on this upcoming direct. Smash is guaranteed. Because they said it. They said Smash News. That means a Smash announcement. I mean, there could be some other Smash News too, I suppose, but I figure at least an announcement. Then it says games focusing on the first half of the year. Thing about that is though, like, I have made the mistake before. Way back in the day when directs were much more regular, they very frequently say things like that, and it's not necessarily true. It'll have a focus on, because here's the thing, if that was true, if it was just focusing on games for the first half of the year, there would probably be 0 announcements, or at least 0 big ones. It's just little, you know what I mean? Because we already know what's coming in the first half of the year. We just got Mario, then it's like Monster Hunter and Bravely Default and stuff. The stuff that we know for the first half. Maybe even Pokemon Snap if they talk about some Pokemon stuff. So if you take that literally, it means, no big announcements, probably. But here's the thing, that historically, that's not what that means. I mean, like, that could be the focus, but that doesn't mean they won't announce anything for later than that. I've seen enough Nintendo Direct announcements and directs to know that that's not a thing you gotta worry about. In fact, I feel like, I want to say it was the 2017 E3 presentation, which was legendary, announced so many games. I want to say even that one was like focusing on games through the end of 2017. And then they announced Kirby for the next year. And, they announced, what else? Metroid Prime 4, stuff like that. Yoshi for 1 or 2 years later. So yeah, don't worry too much about that part. It really could be anything. Breath of the Wild 2 is very likely, especially if it's coming out in the first, Q2, like the rumors were saying. I'm still doubtful. I think it's probably be the end of the year. And then, see, there's another thing. You can't really predict what's going to be in it if you don't know how many more directs we're getting for the rest of the year. If this is going to be a regular thing again, 3 or 4 of them a year, then we can't expect too much from this one because that's a lot of other directs to spread the announcements. But it's pandemic. Maybe Nintendo doesn't have that many projects, so they're going to pool them all together in this one. It's going to be an extra good one. I don't know. Anniversaries, that's also a thing. We don't know what series might get special directs. I feel like at least Zelda should get its own direct, but maybe it won't. Maybe they'll put all the anniversary stuff here. Maybe they'll announce some Zelda remasters for the first half of the year, and they'll be right, they're talking about first half of the year. Maybe DK will get a thing. We don't really know. There's so many anniversaries, and we don't know what's gonna get its own dedicated stuff and what's gonna just be thrown into other directs. Maybe that's why they brought back directs, because they got all these anniversaries to announce stuff for. They don't want to do individual announcements and big, individual directs. Anyway, oh boy, I could go on. Point is, though, ultimate point is, I was wrong. I was dead wrong, and I have never in all my life been happier to be so 100% dead wrong. It's such a dangerous prediction to make, too. That's the thing. My prediction videos, I'm predicting an entire year. When I predict some big, overarching thing, like no directs for the whole year, and then you get one direct, boom, it's all shot. It's all shot permanently. But like I said, you gotta be bold with your predictions. You gotta. Because you gotta be bold because it's more entertaining. And then, if you do get it right, well, you got a whole year right, didn't you? If they didn't do any directs this year, it would have been like, wow, Arlo predicted the whole year. So, yeah. Oh, I'm so happy, though. I'm so happy to be wrong. I love Nintendo Directs. Did you know I love Nintendo Directs? Because I do. Oh, yippee skippy, I'm so happy. And you know what? More than ever, I'll say, this is the last thing I'll say. More than ever, I know to keep my expectations in check. I know you're always supposed to keep your expectations in check, but I fully admit, I don't think it's that wrong to have some expectations. When you don't know what the future is, when there's almost nothing announced coming anytime soon at all, and then there's a big direct and it doesn't reveal anything, that I think that's okay to be disappointed there. You know, like that was my problem with the September Direct in 2019. That's why I was kind of bummed with it, because it was all like kind of little, it was just like a lot of little stuff. But I was like, but where's the big stuff? We have like big empty spaces of next year. We don't even know what's coming out. And so that's where I feel like there is an expectation. Like, you gotta fill that space, because if you don't announce anything, that means there probably isn't gonna be anything. And, but in a situation like this, like regardless of the ways that I've felt about directs in the past, I know now, especially the final one back, things might be shaky, you know? It's still a weird thing going on. We still, as I keep saying, we still do not know how the global situation affected Nintendo. For all we know, they're very behind, and they're not letting anyone know how behind they are. Maybe no one but them truly knows how it affected their games. Or everything is pretty normal and they have a lot to announce. But the point is, the first direct back, gotta go easy on them. You know what I mean? My expectations are not super duper high. If we get a Smash reveal and maybe like one halfway good little surprise and like a full reveal of Breath of the Wild 2, maybe that's even too much to ask for. I'm not really sure. But even just a couple nice little surprises would be nice, especially if we think we might get more directs later, you know? In the past, directs have been as little as like 2 months apart before, when they have enough stuff to announce. But whatever the case, head on down to those comments and just say whatever you want. You want to tell me how wrong I was, just be real mean about it, just rub it in. Go for it, because I'm so happy I was wrong. Oh, I'm so happy. How happy are you that I was wrong? Tell me that down in the comments. Give me your predictions for the Direct. What's going to be in the Direct? Is it going to be Breath of the Wild 2? Is it going to be Pikmin 4? It's not going to be Pikmin 4. We just got Pikmin 3. But see, there it is. I'm throwing myself at that one. I'm throwing myself at that prediction. We just got Pikmin 3, so there's not going to be any word of Pikmin 4. Definitely not. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'll watch it tomorrow. We're only a day